a warm HITEC welcome.
Thank you. Oh. I could not be happier to be here right now. And I'm going to start with an embarrassing story about myself. So, are any of you afraid of public speaking? Just a few of you? Let me tell you something that can make the rest of you also afraid of public speaking. So, last time I took the stage, I had spent about a year curating an audience. I had probably $500,000 of opportunity in front of me. I had a room with media there, which we have today. Thank you, Bruce Jordan and the team from the Modern Hotelier for recording this. We're gonna have a competition to see who's better at video. Same source material, so it's a A/B test, so we'll see on that. So I had done that. I hired a person who charges $25,000 to warm up a room. So he's one of the greatest speakers I've ever met. He happens to be a friend of mine, Kelly Cardenas. He was there, he was my opener, he went through, like I had everything planned. There were some amazing hospitality people in that room as well who were going to be taking the stage with me the day after that. We had our awards ready, everything is there, I'm feeling good. Those of you who have seen me speak before probably saw me wearing the all blacks, which I do that intentional, just like when you're in Las Vegas, you see the bouncers, they're dressed a certain way. That's my uniform from speaking. So I had done that, I'd laid out the Armani suit, it was ready to go. I had bright blue underwear that I had laid out as well. The last second, I looked at it and I was like, this doesn't feel right. And I grabbed black underwear, I put those on. And why would I be telling you about what underwear I was wearing? Well, you'll hear that in a second. So the stage is set. They've marked it here, they've marked it there. The awards are up there. I'm ready to go. It is probably 3 minutes before I'm taking the stage. I'm talking to another woman at this conference. She dropped something on the ground. I reach down to pick up, which I'm not gonna pantomime the whole thing, which I'll tell you why, because as I'm reaching down, I hear a giant rip. My pants have ripped from right here to about right here. There's no time for me to change these pants. My CEO is also taking the stage with me in a minute. I don't want her to see, and I certainly do not want the 100 people in the crowd to see what has just happened. So I walk up to the stage, and I have to walk just like this to come across. I have to do about 30 minutes where I'm on this stage coming through. And then afterwards, I also have to network with everyone who's been there. And so as I'm talking to people like that, someone extremely politely comes over to me and is like, excuse me, I don't want to embarrass you, but I just want to let you know your pants are ripped. And I was like, oh, don't worry, I know. But you know what? I'm still here, I'm still gonna get the job done. You know why? I understand the importance of my own digital and personal brand. And the fact of the matter is, even if I am potentially about to moon 100 people at the same time, or some of the most powerful people in hospitality, I'm still going to do it, and I'm still going to get it done. I was also prepared for right now, for this technology to not work. Because the truth is, you don't know, you don't have control over that technology. So right now, should my PowerPoint freeze, then I'm just going to talk to you for 30 minutes. I'm ready to do exactly that. And all of you should be ready to think about, who are you? And this is not just who you are, but when people talk about you in the rooms that you're not in, what are they going to say? So think about that. Think about the exposure you can have. Think about how many people you can help. So anyone here in the crowd, have I ever helped you in any way, shape, or form at some point? Now I'm really gonna cry when I look at this. And the fact is, these right here, every single one of you, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you, because I truly, truly do. You very much matter to me, and that's why I'm here today, to see how we can help you with your own personal brand. So what are the things you wanna think about? Authenticity, trust, credibility. Who are you? Are you going to do the things you say you're going to be? Clarity of purpose. So understanding your why. Why do you do the things you do? So that part, once you know that about yourself, you can start crafting your brand in order to do the things you speak out and want to do. Consistent messaging, including using the same or similar headshot, which most of you who follow me on LinkedIn know I'm pretty shy about that, so I don't usually put out any images or anything else. But think about that. Think about the things you put out there. Think about how you want people to feel when they see any content or things that you're doing. Value and impact. So when you're thinking about showing, don't just talk about, I did this, like my role was this, I did this. What are the achievements and outcomes you've done? So again, I'm very shy of putting yourself out. So like, when I was on the cover of Global Hospitality magazine, not twice, but 3 times, although the third picture I didn't like as much, so that one didn't make it. Why? Because I care about the digital brand and what's out there. So when looking at that, the podcast, I have my name there. You'll notice, it is the same or a very similar issue. Now it is a little bit cleaned up, so maybe I'm a little older than that, but who you see in that picture is who you see when you're out at the event. So sometimes people will stop me and they'll act like they know me. And the fact is, a lot of times they do, sometimes they don't, or they'll say, I know you from where, Nolani? Where would they say they know me from? LinkedIn. So as far as that, so when you look at what is a tool that's available right now that can make a huge impact? And those of you who were here last year may think this is the exact same presentation you saw a year ago because the first slide's gonna look very similar. Truth is, it's not the same presentation, it's not even close. Why is that? Because the world has changed and it's changed drastically in the last year. So the things you were doing 1 year ago should not be the exact same things you're doing today. Because a year ago, I told you, you want to make yourself discoverable by search. So when people do SEO, your name comes up. What does it say about you? Now you really do have to, and I'm not going to go the AI route because I know there was probably 30 sessions already on AI. But the truth is, when people who used to Google you, they now may be doing it in Chat GPT, they may be doing it in Claude, they may be doing it out there. So what you want to do is make sure anything you're putting out there can be searched and understood by an agent as well as by a person. So when you come in here and you look at that, you'll see this area right up there, the laser doesn't work, but right under your name, that's your headline. That's the most important part of your profile. That area is also able to be searched by the agents of that, and that's going to become much, much bigger, and the SEOs. So think very much about what those are going to say when someone searches your name on that. That's what's going to come up. So you want it to be, I am Tim Kinsella, I'm a leader in the space, and this is what I do. These are the outcomes that I bring. Doing things like that, and it makes a huge impact for how your digital brand is going to be expanded in the future and the area that we're in right now. The headshot, I recommend using, you can use those AI generated ones, but if you're like David Malili and you want to make yourself just slightly more handsome than the already handsome person you already are, then you can use one of those and clean it up already. Or you can go with Bruce Jordan, who is so handsome that his image is just him. That's, you see the exact same thing, and that's how you become the Michael Jordan of hospitality. That's there. And then think about, though, your positioning not for the role you have, I am this, you're positioning for, this is where I want to be. This is what I'm going to do. I'm Alberto Santana, and I'm going to change the world because the Florida Panthers won the Stanley Cup. I'm going to put that out there and do this. This is what I'm putting out in the universe, and this is what I want. The other thing I like to think about is a luck raiser or opportunity raiser. The fact is, I found myself 1 degree of separation away from a billionaire. So I maximized that and went through, and you never know what can happen from things like that and the rooms you wind up in. Or you could be sitting on the floor seats at an Atlanta Hawks game, which is not something that would typically happen, but it can. And the fact is, the more willing you are to put yourself out there, the more these opportunities can open up. What I also want to make super clear is, you're not competing with me, we're building each other together. And if you're not super comfortable with having yourself out there, then you're not certainly going to try and do what you do, because the fact is, there's a cringe factor when you talk about yourself and you put it out there, which we all have. Mine just happens to be relatively wide and expanded. It's still there. And who is going to be the hardest with that? Your family. Like my wife, is she embarrassed about everything I do on LinkedIn? 100%. Like, and she's like, are you really putting that there? And I was like, not putting, it's already there, it's out there, it's searchable. We already talked about that with the agents. So if you're not all the way comfortable with that, then just support other people. Be there and just do the comments, go through there. Because doing those things also helps your own personal brand. And then allow your comfort zone to gently expand and do that. Because you can do more, you can always do more. And the fact is, there never has been an easier time to do exactly that. And I have some tools that are gonna show you what you can do. So let's first talk about analytics. Do they matter? 1 year ago, this is what I had on the stage. I was super proud because I had 599,000 impressions. I felt really good about it. So I set a goal for myself to get to 1 million. And then those of you who are active on LinkedIn will know that became much, much harder. So the algorithm changed, the number of people they show posts to became a lot lower. So What did I do there? Had to adjust the goal and say maybe 1 million's not realistic. So let's look like, oh, actually it is. So we did hit the 1 million impressions on that. But you know what? It was hard, truly hard, and going through there. And I say, do these matter? Probably not, but it's a scoreboard. And for me, it's something that I do look at, I do track. But for me personally, the biggest thing I track is the impact I can have on others. And the fact is, the larger my digital footprint is, the more people I can help. And I love to help people. I truly do. Like, that's something that makes me legitimately happy. So going through and looking at it. We also have, I'm gonna warn you in advance, this list should be much, much longer. And there's some of you I know that should be up here that aren't, and just realize it's not that it was accidental, it's that you wronged me in some way this week. And so I'm seeking you revenge on that. No, the truth is I did this, but I did it in a very strategic way. I allowed the algorithm to make the decision for me. So I interacted with a very wide number of people intentionally on that. And the people here were served up in my feed or made a comment in something I did during the time frame when I started doing this and not. So just that, like, realize that it sometimes, and it could be someone should have been served up in this but wasn't, so just realize that. So that's where I have like some of the people we're looking at, and some of these names you'll recognize, some you may not, but we'll keep going. And what I love to see, several of these people I actually see looking out right now. So tools to help get you there. ChatGPT. So let's talk about this one a little bit. Yes, I know you're already using ChatGPT. You know how to use, you know what you're doing. What you'll also find there's a lot of right now is what I call digital slop. So these are the people that just let the AI do it. They throw a prompt in there. We're gonna let that roll by for a second. They put a prompt out there and they immediately just post that, and it has like the little signs in that. There's no soul to those posts, and like they don't really make a difference. Now, if you want to use a tool like ChatGPT to help you with like the first thoughts are going through, it can do a really good job on that. Or if you want to start with a rough outline, it can clean it up and make it look good. But so there's things, and with ChatGPT, could it be easier? The fact is, yes. And now there are cheat codes where you can go through this. So John Elston, who happens to be a good friend of mine, digital expert, he did a test of more than 1,000 optimizations going out to LinkedIn and profiles. So they've been tested more than 1,000 times. And what this will do for you is you're able to upload your resume and your own LinkedIn profile, and this exact prompt will optimize your profile for what it is you want and do. So I hope you're looking right here and you're catching these words, because if you type these exact words, it'll do this for you. Or I'll make it a little easier for you. And if you are not connected with me on LinkedIn, please just connect. That QR code right there will that, or I'm relatively easy to find on the platform. You can send me an email or a message in LinkedIn. Please include your email, and I will send you that exact prompt that will optimize your LinkedIn profile for you. I also promise I will not be using your email for my newsletter, which I do not have, or to sell you anything like that. The only thing you will get from it is this prompt and the use, and then feel free to use that or not and bring together, but that will optimize your LinkedIn profile and become like much easier to come across. Oh, that's my not spam message. Another one is CapCut. So CapCut is, and I know we're not supposed to talk about products, but these are not these are just generally available ones. Makes it really easy to take video content and add captions to those, clean it up, put insights. Like, this is something where you can take a video, like for instance, the ones we see from the Modern Hotelier or Bruce. When they cut those, I'll actually clip those out and I'll include captions to make it very easy. Because a lot of people, when they're on LinkedIn, they're at work, maybe supposed to be doing something else, and they're scrolling the feed. So having those captions allow them to know like what it is you're saying, what's happening across the board. When you do a post and you've used those captions, also make sure that you turn off the captions in LinkedIn, otherwise you'll have two sets that are right there. But the auto-generated ones from LinkedIn, they're not great because they don't get the words exactly right. It takes you a few extra minutes to look at it in a tool like CapCut, edit it the way you want, and have those show up. And it can make a huge impact for your own profile. the ability to do videos and bring those across, it makes a really big difference for the algorithm and the way it works and looking at things. The next tool is Canva. So what Canva allows you to do is create images where you can take a picture, superimpose your face on those and bring that across. They're already optimized for LinkedIn and set up for you to come across in the way that you want to. Rode microphones or DJI, one of those. So you'll see right now I am triple mic'd right now. Giving clean audio quality makes a really big difference. So if you're recording video content, in the back, John Figlione, is there something funny you want to go through right here? I'm just kidding. Thank you for that. Just having fun. But really, the most important tool of all in all of this, who thinks they have a guess on what this is? Anyone? Zoe. It's right, it is Zoe's brain. That is the thing that's most important in all of this. You're super close on it, but that's not it. It is not consistency. Let's keep going. Anyone else? It is indeed yourself, you. So that is what this is all about. This is about you. And the fact is, I don't know how much time we've taken right now. What I'd love to do is really open this up and have it as a wide discussion, because the fact is, I am here for you. I would love to support you. Building the brand that is you is what this session is about, and it is what you should be about. The fact is, there's no one else in the world that's going to do a good job of opening up the opportunities for you to create the life that you want. All of you do deserve amazing things. And the fact is, the universe will open itself up and deliver to you exactly what you want if you're willing to do the things and put out there that I want to be this. And then as you talk like that, you go from I want to be this to I am this. Embody who it is you want to be, because you already are that person. There is no limit to the things that you can do, and your willingness to just put yourself out there, accept those, help others, be grateful for the things that are happening, and you can do truly amazing things. So let's open it up, and anyone, if there's anything you'd like to know or anything I can help you with, I'd love to hear it. Rachel, you had your hand raised. Was there something you needed? No? Lyle.
I think LinkedIn is getting a bit painful to look at right now because of AI.
I agree.
All the EM dashes and the emojis you can tell, and words that people don't use. I think it feels so unauthentic now. So how do you address that?
I could not agree with you more. And the fact is, I am going to keep doing LinkedIn and that, but my own personal side, I am going to start using TikTok, YouTube, and those tools more, because the ease of putting those junk messages out there have made it where it's almost like the spam in your email box. But the fact is, if you are authentic and showing up and really putting yourself out there, you will stand out against all of that digital junk that's there. But the truth is, Lyle, you captured it well, it's becoming harder. So the fact is, you need to show up, and Zoe's a great example of that. Showing up, being there, doing it every day. The other thing I'll share with you, if you're early in your journey, it's going to be painful. You're gonna have a post that you've spent hours on. You're so excited, you get there, you look at it, you're like, 3 people like that post on that. But here's what I'll say. You should actually be happy. You know what? 3 people like that post. I impacted 3 people, and they're like, I like that. Or the people that say not just thumbs up like that, like Mike Metzger this morning, like I did a post, he's like, I found that funny, which I like that because that post was intentionally trying to be funny. And thank you to the Colts cheerleaders for helping the algorithm. So like putting a visual image that people are more likely to look at, that helps and comes through.
How would you recommend we overcome confidence issues when it comes to video content?
Here's what I'll tell you about that, and that is a really good question. So again, I am a relatively confident person. I do not watch a single video of myself because I can't stand it. I look at that and I'm like, I'm embarrassing. But what I'm gonna tell you is, you're out in the world, you're interacting, you're good on video, you're good in the world. So just don't judge yourself, be critical, like go for it. Or if you're not comfortable putting yourself on video, you can create a video that doesn't have you in it. You can create a video that uses voiceovers now, or an AI image that talks about this. So if you're less comfortable being on video, you can use those tools and put those out there. Jasmine in the back has a question too. Hi, Jasmine.
How often is too often to post, and what do you recommend on frequency for those of us who wonder about that?
Well, according to my wife, it is definitely less frequent than the amount I'm posting right now. But the truth is, whatever feels right to you. There's some days that I do not post at all, and there's some days where I'll do 3, 4, 5 posts. There's also times where I'll do a series. The other thing that I think I'm glad you asked that question, a lot of us don't have time to do this, and that's where people ask, like, why are you posting at 5:45 or 6:45 in the morning? I'm not. I actually a lot of times wrote that post Sunday evening where I stacked that. So you can schedule your posts in LinkedIn to show up in the time that is optimal for you. And that's the other part when you look at it. There are times that are more valuable than others. So Tuesday morning at 6:45 a.m. for me, which is 9:45 on the East Coast, is the optimal time. So the very best post I can do would be at that time because that's when the highest number of people are going to do it. The other thing is the way the algorithm works is the more engagement you have in that first hour, the more people it's going to show it to. And then I see a lot of people they'll tag a really wide audience to try and get a following. If you tag people and those people you tag do not engage on that post, it is punished. That content is shown to fewer people, not more. So trying to tap into others' network only works if those people also engage on it. And it's also the algorithm is always shifting. So it changes and I track it. I look at like how things going across. But again, you don't have to do any of those things. Just put yourself out there a little bit more is my advice, and open yourself up.
I'm curious how controversy helps.
It's a really good question. I do not do this tactic, but it helps you a lot. So like if you have a controversial post where the people either don't like or do like, so if it's something where there's a separation of opinion, just like the news media, that negativity actually will provide a higher degree of engagement. I try not doing that. And again, my personal brand is highly positive tone, which also just happens to be who I am. Like I have a really positive outlook on things. I want to help, so that's me. There's some people that actually do enjoy that. Like they want like a little bit of spice and back and forth and argument. So like that content will actually perform quite well.
How do you survive your self-appointed LinkedIn police?
You just deal with it. So like that's the part, like that's the advice on, and there's gonna people that like come through and like that. And I know there was one, right.
Tell us about commenting strategy.
Commenting strategy, that's a really good point. So thinking about the people you want to engage more, when you comment on posts and bring together, it helps drive your own content. So your work on the platform makes a huge impact to the people that see yours. And I've talked to a lot of people, they're like, I'm doing all the work, I'm going through there and I'm not getting a lot of engagement. And the question I ask is, how much time are you spending supporting others and trying to help them? And if it's none, there's a good chance that you will not have nearly as much reach as you would otherwise. Yes, Aaron.
For people who want to post on multiple channels, what do you recommend for like an auto posting product?
So Opus Clips does a good job of bringing that. Like I'm not going to recommend a specific one for those auto posting because I'm still trying to figure out which one, and there's a lot of the ones that you can use that.
I should say affordable.
Well, and everything I shared, that's the other part. I'm glad you said the affordable part. I spend exactly $0 on LinkedIn. I don't do any promoted posts. I don't have Sales Navigator, so I can't see every single person who like peeps my profile, but I'm not terribly worried about that. So if you really need to know this is every single person, then you would invest and spend the money on Sales Navigator. And there are tools though that will help you, like your same content if you want it on TikTok, YouTube, like all the channels. They'll do that for you, but the fact is I'm not there yet. So that's the next iteration for me is I'm a little embarrassed to like take the TikTok path and YouTube, but I'm going to do it because the fact is I know it works. And I know the younger generation is less likely to be on LinkedIn, far more likely to be on TikTok. So that's where, even though I'm getting a little long in the tooth, I still need to engage like all the different ages on that. I know we're close to time, but Adam.
I have a question for you. This is Lavelle.
Oh, hello,
My
Lavelle.
biggest fan. First of all, congratulations. My husband follows 2 people, and you're one of them. And he says hi, by the way.
Thank you.
No, I get I get tagged a lot. Like, you'll see these posts where they have like 25 people tagged.
Yes.
And I also do my own LinkedIn, and I don't have a lot of time for that. How impactful is that, though, for me if I'm tagging like 20 people in a post?
It's not unless those 20 people are actually going to engage in the content. So it is a strategy that worked for a very short amount of time, and then like it stopped working like 4 years ago or 3 years ago. So on that, so again, tagging people, it really doesn't unless they're going to come across.
Second row, Mike.
Yes, Adam.
I know we don't have much time, but can you take us through your creative process and how you want to get to your content? So you both most out of anyone else, it's always
So just while I'm out in the world, I think of things, and sometimes I make a note to myself in the phone, and then I either act on it or not, but it comes to me at like super random times, and a lot of times I'll just do it. That's the other thing. You may notice in mine, which I have Marcy Albert, who's amazing at, you have a typo here, you have a typo there. Was that the question? No.
How does editing a post affect the performance?
Oh, editing a post does not affect the performance. You can edit your posts, and that is not punished at all. So me personally, I just set it and send it. I don't proofread it because like I'm not overly embarrassed if I do have a typo in there. It's like people don't, or maybe people do think I can't spell the word idea if I do idea. And then Marcy Albert will send me a message, which I do highly recommend. Don't put in the post, you misspelled this. Send a message that just says this is there, then people can go back and fix it. But so me, I'm not like terribly worried about when that happens.
Nick, I have a really quick etiquette question, just piggybacking on what Lavelle said. Tagging all these people do it all the time. What about the etiquette? If some people are like, what? To me, it's a little annoying, but that's just me. Is it rude to do, or does it matter?
I don't think it's rude to do, and I think it's just different people are going to do it their own ways. And to me, I have a very much like to each her or his own attitude where like if they're going to do that, fine. If people do tag me in a post, I do try and engage on it usually, like if you happen to see it.
Okay, thank you.
And again, I think we are at time. I do want to express how much I really do appreciate every single one of you in here. And I do want to ask a very quick question. If you were at this session because someone else asked you to be here, so it's not me, but anyone else, raise your hand if someone came to you. All right, that's pretty good, like a few on that. And was anyone handed a card by Karen McNamara, the CIO of Aimbridge, or Matt Schwartz, the CTO of Sage? They did an awful job of promoting this event. You think you hire 2 of the most powerful people in hospitality to have like those cards outside of Las Vegas to hand those out, you would expect better results. And I will say with Karen, who is amazing and she's awesome, when I asked her if she had handed out those cards, she's like, of course I did. And then she pulls out, I was like, well, you still have them. She literally had trash in her bag that was with, and I was like, thank you for taking those just so gingerly and seriously on that where I did that. Again, thank you to every single one of you. I really do appreciate you, and have a great HITEC. Thank you. And now I'll do a selfie. Wait 1 second. So I'm gonna try and get everyone in.